Alright, this is part 4 of the interview with HollywoodBigBoss, and this time we even have some special guests.
Yes, this time we have Executioner Dairoku Tenmao of NW 2.0 and KeiyarlaDraga, the diva of dueling herself. I felt that talking about the Reign of Terror, Executioner's Ascension, his longest world title reign to date of 198 days, that we needed to talk about everything that occurred in this span together, because there was so much that not only involved him, but KeiyarlaDraga as well. So if you want to go ahead and start.
Yep. So the first question goes, what were your thoughts on the Executioner defeating Mantis, KeiyarlaDraga, and you to replace Lord Anubis in challenge for the PDL/NWO World Championship?
Well, Lord Anubis missed the event. He couldn't attend. So it's like, okay, we gotta figure something out. We gotta have a title defense.
Yeah.
And this was the start of Corvus's problems mentally and everything. He was not on a good path.
Yeah.
So it's like, we gotta keep the ball rolling forward, maybe get the championship off of him. But main plan here was, let's get it going. Let's have a Fatal 4-Way determine a new #1 contender, and Executioner won in pretty convincing fashion considering a Fatal 4-Way.
Yep.
Did you want to comment anything about that duel, or anything you remember in particular?
No, not really.
But it really wasn't anything that we had scheduled. It was just kind of, Anubis isn't here. Oh shit, we got to come up with something.
Yeah, I remember that much.
Yeah.
Because even I was like, oh shit, this can be a problem.
Yeah. And you know Anubis, he hardly missed any events.
Yeah. At the time.
At the time, yeah.
Alrighty, well, with that, what were your thoughts on Executioner winning the PDL/NWO World Championship on March 31st of 2010?
It was a fucking blowout. Corvus was terrible in that duel. Like, you could tell that he was clearly on a downward trend as far as his dueling. Yeah, it was not
Feels
good.
a better term we're looking for.
Downward spiral, yeah, that would definitely fit. Executioner dominated him. But to me, it's just like, I just lost the championship, but I didn't want to keep doing the whole rematch thing. I felt like Anubis never got his shot to challenge for it. He should get his shot, then he didn't show. So it's like, I still don't want to do it without earning it. So it's like, okay, let's see if anyone can manage to beat me.
Yep. What were your thoughts on successfully defending the PDL Tag Team Championship on that same day?
It was against KeiyarlaDraga and Corvus.
Yep.
This would have been our 431st day as tag team champions together as of that date, and we blew them out of the water again, unfortunately.
Yeah,
they got disqualified. Yeah, because Draga played all of her cards properly, and then Captain Ahab, just jumped in ass first and
fucked everything
He's been
up.
known to disqualify
Yeah.
his tag team partners
On multiple occasions.
On multiple occasions, mainly with me.
not
And
consult
he
with
and
his
he tends
teammates.
not to talk to his teammates about what to do, and then he could just screw over our potential tag team champion.
Yeah.
I mean, especially you and Senix, when you team up, you show each other your hands, you let each other know what the other's doing. He'd just crap cards regardless of what Draga or anyone else had played, and it would always screw his own teammate.
Yeah.
But that's what I had to think about that. It was just...
Yeah.
I'm sorry about that, people.
Have a visitor of Executioner's Cat Delilah here.
Yep.
Yeah, she's kind of in a bad way right now.
Yeah. How did Lord Anubis react to the news of Executioner winning the PDL/NWO World Championship, and did this put a strain on the relationship between the two duelists?
Anubis was fucking pissed. He was absolutely livid that his championship return match didn't happen. But it's like, there's not much I can do when you don't show up.
Exactly.
Did it put a strain between the two? Yeah, he blamed Executioner when it's like, I made the call to change the match.
Yeah.
And it's like, we need to do this, so
That's just how it's going to be.
that's how it's got to be. You know,
Yep.
it's... And for years after this, he never treated Executioner the same. Inside...
Well, I won't. He did get better for a while, but it did get worse
Yeah.
as the years went on. I feel some resentment was there, but there was some other stuff going on too.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, people. She's in the heat. It's a terrible time for all of us. Trust me, trying to sleep with this is nearly impossible.
What was the concept behind the Ultimate Duelist Tournament?
Well, I wanted to kind of take the guesswork out of decks and see who had the best dueling skill overall. So the best way I thought that we could do this is take 2 stock starter deck Yugis. I had gotten a Spanish one for $5 at Target. And then I still had my original one. I sleeved up both of them, and we had an 8 duelist single elimination tournament.
Okay.
We'll talk more about that. But go ahead.
I was going to say, I believe that tournament also doubled as something else.
There was something else for it too, but
I feel it was important.
we'll probably, hopefully, get to that later, or maybe he'll bring it up.
Yeah.
But there was more to it than just, show who could, be the best duelist with an unfamiliar deck and something that's not exactly the greatest to play with.
Yeah.
But for a starter deck, it runs so well.
Yeah. Alrighty, what were your thoughts on the rematch for the PDL/NWO World Championship on April 20th of 2010? This would have been Executioner versus Corvus.
Disqualified because he was a freaking dingbat. I mean, I'm sorry, but it's just like the fact that you can't keep track of the cards that you played.
Yeah.
And he was definitely in the downward spiral. Mentally, he was not where he should be. And it's just like, it was showing in his duel set. Something was wrong with him. And it was god-awful. It was terrible.
Yeah. What were your thoughts on KeiyarlaDraga winning the Knights of Pontiac FTW World just Championship?
KeiyarlaDraga winning the Knights of Pontiac Fuck the World Championship, beating Corvus. Expected it, and I'm surprised it took 36 days to happen. But it was like, okay, now let's see what's going to happen, if this title's actually going to mean something now, or if it's just going to fall by the wayside, and it was kind of a bit of both, actually.
A bit of both, yeah.
It didn't... We had 2 hardcore championships in one group. I mean, it just did not do what it was supposed to.
Yeah.
And it was partially my fault for allowing him to reactivate that championship when it's like, we got a new one.
Yeah.
You don't need to declare yourself champion to prove anything. Your dueling will prove it.
Yeah.
Yep.
What were your thoughts on T-Rex joining the Pontiac Duelist League?
I was kind of... I liked the fact that we had a new member, but I was on the fence because he was only 10. It's like, the kid knows his cards. He doesn't have... And it's one of those things. He had a psychic deck. It was passable, but it wasn't great.
Yeah.
It could get the job done. Anubis helped him out. I was on the fence. I'm just going to say that. Executioner, do you remember T-Rex at all?
Yeah. He came, but he never really stayed.
Yeah, like...
Maybe one thing, and that was it.
He was there a couple of times, actually. We'll touch a little bit more on him later. But it's just... I was kind of on the fence as far as the duelist being that young.
Yeah.
It's like he can duel, but it's not all there, So... Yeah, I was alright with it at first, but then I think we'll get into a little bit more later.
Yeah. Alright. Well, what were your thoughts on the random drawing of the matches for the Ultimate Duelist Tournament? First one here would be Executioner defeat KeiyarlaDraga.
Executioner defeated KeiyarlaDraga April 28th, 2010. KeiyarlaDraga almost won. That was a shocker because she dominated. She got Summon Skull out. Executioner managed to Dark Hole and Monster Reborn and then just beat the crap out of her. Match 2, I drew Corvus. May 6th, 2010. Fucking blowout. I absolutely annihilated him. May 14th was supposed to be the next match. Mantis defeated Tiger King, with Tiger King resigning from PDL and forfeiting the duel, not even showing the event. And then Lord Anubis defeated T-Rex on May 24th, 2010, and once again, Anubis as a blowout. T-Rex, as you could tell, his dueling wasn't quite there. So it's like being in a very unfamiliar environment. He did not do so well.
Yeah. Alright, well, that's all the one. Yeah, you ran through them all.
I have my notes with me, so at least I can, you know...
Yeah. What were your thoughts on the rematch for the PDL/NWO World Championship on April 28th, 2010?
It was a no disqualification duel, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
And Executioner just curb stomped the fuck out of Corvus. It wasn't even a challenge. I mean, and this was Executioner at his peak with his Smorg Harpy deck, and he got those Smorgs out, and you would be in trouble.
Yeah.
And then you combine Stealth Bird with it, and it's just like...
It was a new edition, actually.
Yeah, but still, it's just like one of those things where... Yeah. Actually, Stealth Bird had been in your deck since 07. I have the deck list right here. But, no, it's just you got a second Smorg during this time, and your effect damage stuff got a lot more consistent with your back row removal.
Yeah.
But go ahead with the...
Yeah. What were your thoughts on Mantis challenging Executioner for the PDL/NWO World Championship on May 6th of 2010?
Very close duel. In fact, I even gave Mantis a rematch as a result of that duel because it's like, holy shit, he actually pushed Executioner to the limit in that one.
Yeah.
It's like we could have seen a title change if he had just gotten one more turn. He might have been able to do it, but it was down to the wire, and it was a very exciting duel to see, you know? Executioner, anything you want to comment on that duel particularly, or?
No, I remember it was a tough fight.
Mantis in this one especially, he really pushed you. I mean,
yeah, but
holy crap.
I pulled that lucky card.
Yep,
and I was able to flip it all around.
Yep.
But he had kept my field empty most of the match, if I remember right.
Yeah, I think he actually early on Wicked Avatared you and was able to Pinball of Doom you early on in that duel.
My nickname for the black ball.
Yep.
Such as Raw is the giant chicken.
Yep.
But go ahead with the next one.
Yep. What were your thoughts on KeiyarlaDraga's younger brother, Goomba, attempting to join the Pontiac Duelist League at this event?
I was completely against it, actually. And for two reasons. One, he had no dueling experience. I put a deck in front of him and gave him an opening, shuffled, gave him an opening hand, and he could not play the cards. He had no deck either, and he wasn't willing to learn the proper way to play the game. I was strictly against it as of that point.
Yeah.
However, Lord Anubis and Mantis were like, oh no, we need to have him. And it's like, there's nothing here. The one thing that I recommended to Goomba was show up and watch us play the game. Watch your sister KeiyarlaDraga play the game. Get experience and knowledge by watching us. Learn by watching us play, and that way you can figure out the basics, get it down, and then we'll get you something down the road. But no, he just got really upset about it. I know he tried to go to his mom about it too, but it's like, I can't help him if he's
not wanting to learn.
Not wanting to learn and not wanting to do things the proper way. Draga, did he ever bring that up with you or not? No? Okay,
That's
then.
what I remember, but
All right.
Yeah. Alrighty. How did your grandfather passing away affect you as well as the Pontiac Duelist League?
Well, I was actually surprised by this, but Mantis and Corvus were the two people who first offered me support after this happened. My grandfather, his passing was very sudden. He had been battling cancer and everything, went into the hospital.
Yeah.
And he had a rupture in his intestine. It turned septic, and they did everything they could.
Yeah.
But it still to this day, that one hurts.
Yeah.
But as far as like the support that I got from not only them but Executioner, KeiyarlaDraga, it was good to know that my friends were, willing to let me take whatever time I needed, and
Yeah.
and as a result, the Ultimate Duelist Tournament would also be known as the Robert Petrie Sr. Memorial Tournament as a result, too.
Yeah, fair enough. Alrighty. Why did you give T-Rex a PDL/NWO World Championship match against the Executioner, and what was the fallout of his duel that day?
He lost badly. Yeah, it was not a very competitive duel. It was very one-sided.
Yeah.
I think as a result of that, I had him bow out of the Pontiac Duelist League. I wanted him to still show up. I wanted him to still watch our duels and everything. So that way he could get more experience, learn more, and then when he got maybe 2 years older or whatever, jump in. But unfortunately, that never happened. So that's it on that topic, I believe.
Yep. What were your thoughts on Mantis introducing Savril to the Pontiac Duelist League?
Holy shit. This guy was a advanced format junkie, pretty much. But he could go. Like, his deck was built to Konami's format, band list and everything. But it could go. This is pre-Baranic Dragon of the Ice Barrier. He didn't have that yet. He had the Junk Synchron and those kind of things. Junk Warrior, Turbo Warrior, those kinds.
We threw in some cards of our own to help.
He got Goyo Guardian too, which is the bane of KeiyarlaDraga's existence. How much do you love Goyo Guardian, KeiyarlaDraga?
I started throwing my cards at him.
A little louder? I didn't hear that. A little louder?
I don't think...
Yeah, I don't think I can get her to say what she
Savril
said.
joining the Pontiac Duelist League was a very good thing. I mean, I was so happy with having a new duelist who knew what he was doing, who could play, and it's like, with a little bit more time, he's going to be something great.
It was fun.
Why did you allow Savril to replace Tiger King and allow him to face Mantis in the Ultimate Duelist Tournament on June 2nd of 2010?
Okay, so the reason why I allowed him to replace him is because Mantis insisted on having Savril in the tournament, and his round essentially became a bye. So it's like, you know what? Let's throw him in, even though he's a late entry, and we'll see how well he does. And even though Mantis defeated him, he only beat him because of his Earthbound Immortal. Savril came within inches of ending Mantis in that duel. Very close.
Yeah.
It was a good match.
Yeah.
It really was. Like, the fact that he was able to push around Mantis that bad in his first contest, and it's not even a PDL built deck. And it's like, this guy's got something.
Yeah. Funny how that usually is the start.
Speaking of from experience there?
Just a little bit. What were your thoughts on the PDL/NWO World Champion Executioner versus Knights of Pontiac FTW Championship Champion Mantis on June 2nd of 2010?
Title versus title. Both championships on the line. The Pontiac Duelist League and NWO World Champion versus the Knights of Pontiac. Fuck the World Champion. Executioner won, but Mantis once again didn't make it easy for him.
Yeah.
Another competitive duel. I was really proud of both of them, honestly. And even though Mantis lost, it's like, hey, good on you. I mean, you're able to actually push this guy. Like, you're able to make him better than what he was before.
Yeah.
I'm really happy with the outcome of that duel. Because as I said, this is the Reign of Terror. This is Executioner pretty much just winning duel after duel after duel. But they're not blowouts. They are very competitive matches against everyone except Corvus.
Yeah.
And it was always close besides Corvus.
Yeah.
Each match normally took us below 2,000 life points to decide the winner.
Yeah, and it would be a 30-40 minute duel, too.
There was no speed. It was straight up.
It was endurance.
It was skill against skill. And one wrong card draw would wreck you.
Very much so.
Yeah.
As I saw from my opponents and myself a couple times. I was almost knocked out turn one, I believe, one time.
Yeah, and made a comeback, so that was good.
Yeah. One hell of a day.
What were your thoughts on Savril defeating Mantis to capture the vacant Knights of Pontiac Fuck the World title?
Holy shit, he's finally done it. He's got his first championship in the group. If I remember correctly, I'm trying to remember how long he had that championship for.
It was a good chunk.
It was a sizable reign. Where the hell is it? Several 35 days in his first reign.
For a newbie, that's pretty good.
Very good. I mean, really good. I was really happy with him winning that championship. Mantis was even happier because he's like, yay, I got a new Knight of Pontiac. Yay!
What were your thoughts on the semifinals of the Ultimate Duelist tournament and new lots being drawn for this round? This would have been Executioner defeats Mantis, and then HollywoodBigBoss defeats Lord Anubis.
Okay, so Executioner versus Mantis was June 16th, 2010. Executioner blew his ass out of the water. Mantis,
I believe I got the best draw I could ever have had.
Mantis just solid bricked. And Executioner actually got Soul Exchange during the duel. So he was able to get out not only his Dark Magician, but also his Curse of Dragon. And it's just like, ugh.
Yeah.
And I believe I had the Book of Spells in my hand that I played next turn for Dark Magician. Just to put an end to it quicker.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what one you're talking about. But I think it's Book of Secret Arts, which is 300 or whatever.
Yeah,
it's the starter deck Yugi one, but yeah.
Still, straight up, it's a boost.
And then me versus Anubis, that duel was down to the wire. We both got an excellent hand going into that one. We both got under 1,000 life points in that one, but I just barely squeaked by him. I was able to, I think, use a Reinforcements trap card to beat him. But it's just, that duel was intense. Like, neither of us, I don't think, got out a tribute monster in our duel.
Oh, gotcha. What were your thoughts on the Knights of Pontiac Tag Team Championship and Mantis' subsequent handicap loss to his Knights of Pontiac teammates?
Okay, so Mantis was forced to defend the Knights of Pontiac Tag Team Championship by himself.
Yeah.
Why I did this, in my infinite wisdom, I'll never fucking know, having a handicap duel like this. But KeiyarlaDraga and Corvus ended up beating him. It's 2-on-1. KeiyarlaDraga, anything you want to remark about that duel, you and Corvus beating Mantis? Not really. I just remember it was like, why the hell did I do this? It was not fair to the guy. Yeah.
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, what were your thoughts on Lord Anubis defeating the Knights of Pontiac to recapture the Knights of Pontiac Tag Team Championship by himself on June 23rd of 2010?
Lord Anubis versus KeiyarlaDraga and Corvus. He's dueling KeiyarlaDraga, but at the same time he's dueling her with Corvus as a tag team partner. I mean, Corvus got him DQ'd.
Not surprised.
That's what happened. That's how it ended. What
was your reaction of Lord Anubis attempting to hold the Knights of Pontiac Tag Team Championship by himself.
I did not like that. I really did not like that. He's like, oh, Mantis lost it by himself? Well, I'm going to hold it by myself. I don't need him. And it's like, dude.
Kind of defeats the purpose.
Yes, it defeats the purpose of a tag team championship. But that was just him kind of flexing and everything, being real happy that he had, you know. But at the same time, it's like, dude, come on now. That's not how this is going to work.
What were your thoughts on the finals of the Ultimate Duelist tournament on June 29th of 2010 against Executioner?
Well, that duel's still on YouTube for anyone who wants to watch it on the New World Organization 2.0 channel. It's up there. Me versus Executioner, and I got my butt handed to me. I'm not afraid to admit that. I got beat in 2 straight duels, I believe. I got frickin' bodied, and I was happy with it, you know, honestly. I mean, Executioner made that duel something special. We had a traditional format tournament with 2 unmodified starter decks, and he was able to go all 3 rounds without losing a single duel. Props to him. I mean, and he's our representing world champion at the time. I mean, what better can you say that your world champion has won a tournament like that?
Yeah. Why did you allow Executioner to name his challengers for the next 3 months after his win of the Ultimate Duelist tournament?
He deserved it. How can I not say that he deserved it? And it's like, originally it was going to be whoever wins gets to challenge the world champion. I never figured the world champion winning the whole damn thing. So Executioner wins, and it's like, how about you get to name your opponents over the next 3 months?
Yeah.
So whenever we have an event,
He gets the
dealer's choice.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. Why did you choose to unveil the red NWO Big Gold Belt to represent the PDL/NWO World Championship?
Well, we had previously done a video where Corvus had set down the rated R spinner that we had representing the PDL World Championship, saying, I'm not using this piece of crap to represent my World Championship. And we just ended that video there. The reason why is that we were shipping that belt into Dave Milliken to get it re-leathered, given a custom Pontiac Duelist League World Champion logo plate and a gold tip on the belt to make it something very much unique to Pontiac Duelist League.
Yeah.
Even though it's a WWE replica belt, we're changing it up so that way it's something unique to us.
Yeah.
But the reason why I chose to unveil it and give it to Executioner, I even got a nameplate for the belt. It's actually up there in that cabinet, the black and red one.
Oh, yeah.
That says Executioner underneath his smoking skull belt up there.
Yep.
Okay, so I was pointing over there. It's actually over there now.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, it's just like, he's the world champion. What better way to, you know, put some more heat on us as a team too, than to unveil a custom, air quotes, world championship, but everyone didn't know, hey, the rated R belt got sent in, it's getting work done on it.
Yep.
What was your reaction to hearing that Lord Anubis had been arrested later that night?
Oh shit. Immediately I suspended him and stripped him of the Knights of Pontiac Hardcore Championship, and that's how his 175-day reign ended. It never lost in a duel. It was because I'd heard that he had gotten arrested, so it's like, oh shit, I'm in damage control mode. But you're going to find out a little bit later that maybe I overreacted a bit.
Yeah. Why did you have Mantis face off against Savril to crown a new Knights of Pontiac Hardcore Champion on June 30th of 2010?
Knee-jerk reaction to Anubis finding out he got arrested. And it's like, oh no, we gotta have a new champion now. We need to do it now. I should have waited until I knew the full story of what was going on. Suspending him would have been fine, but I should not have taken the title off of him at that point.
Yeah.
But let's see, June 30th. Let's see who won that duel. Savril held the title for 7 days in his first reign before losing it to Mantis 7 days later. But yeah, that's pretty much all it was. Just a knee-jerk reaction to,
Yeah, alrighty. When contact was reestablished with Lord Anubis, what was the fallout over his arrest?
He was arrested because he was out past curfew. That was it.
Yeah, that sounds about
Curfew violation. That was it. And it's like, so I did all this, had this big panic thing over a curfew violation.
Yep.
That's why I've kind of always done as a policy, wait until I know all the facts before I make any
major decision.
Major knee-jerk reactions kind of like that, because if I would have just waited, everything probably would have been fine.
Yeah. Why did you switch Lord Anubis from New World Organization to the Knights of Pontiac?
Well, Anubis wanted to jump to the Knights of Pontiac, and with Corvus being AWOL a lot of the time during this time period, it's like they need someone who is higher tier than what they're going in with to be in their group.
Yeah.
And it's just mainly like he's teaming with Mantis a lot. They're the Knights of Pontiac tag team champions. It's like they got to be in the same group, otherwise it will not work. Having Anubis and New World Organization is not the best idea at this point in time.
Mm-hmm.
And the concept of New World Organization was kind of falling apart at the seams, because it was based off of an old group I had in the high school, but it was just not what it ever was or should have been.
Mm-hmm.
Because no one was on the same page with it. Everyone was kind of independent, and, well, no one was unified in that group or trying to, be for the success of that group.
Yeah. Alrighty. What was the purpose of the promo with New World Organization and the Knights of Pontiac?
Well, that promo is still up on the New World Organization 2.0 channel. It was to show off that we have the two teams, myself and Executioner, against the Knights of Pontiac, which are Mantis, Lord Anubis, and KeiyarlaDraga. She was actually in that video, too. Hi. But, yeah, it was a very interesting way to kind of reestablish boundaries between these two groups that are in the Pontiac Duelist League, and be like, we have New World Organization, myself and Executioner, and the Knights of Pontiac, and then Savile really wasn't here at this time because he had college,
Yes.
but he would be more involved a little bit later on the Knights of Pontiac side.
Yeah.
But it was to show that we were having the tag team title unification and what steps both teams were taking to ensure that they won and unified the two championships and would crown the first Pontiac Duelist League World Tag Team Champions.
Why did KeiyarlaDraga replace Mantis in the Pontiac Duelist League / Knights of Pontiac Tag Team Championship
Unification Duel.
Yeah, Unification Duel. Whoops.
Mantis no-showed. That's all it came down to. He no-showed the freaking duel. We had planned this out for months, that he would, attend, be there, all that stuff.
Yeah.
July 14th, we had set the date, like, in January or February, and then it's like, oh no, something came up. Fuck. Is Corvus available? No.
Nope.
Is Savile available? No. KeiyarlaDraga? Yes. Okay. Anubis, you're going in with her. She was the only one available, so... And Mantis, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think you can go to the next thing.
Yep. Tag Team Unification event results.
Let me get the date on that, too, real quick. That would have been, as I said, July 14th, 2010. So go ahead.
Alrighty, so the first one would have been PDL /
Knights of Pontiac.
Yeah. Tag Lord Anubis and KeiyarlaDraga defeated HollywoodBigBoss and Executioner.
Via Exodia.
Exodia,
Yeah. Anubis got Exodia on us, and that duel is also available on the New World Organization 2.0
I felt
channel.
so wrecked.
I was disappointed too, but it was the end of our run.
I
end
couldn't
of our
walk
reign.
straight after that. My ass was chapped.
It's never a good feeling to lose to Exodia.
536 days, and it's all over.
By one set of cards.
Yep. It's never a good feeling.
It hurts. in
Yeah.
every form possible.
All right.
Next one would have been PDL/NWO World Champ Executioner defeated KOP Hardcore
Knights of
Champ
Pontiac, hardcore champion. Yep.
Hollywood Big Boss.
Yep, I got curb stomped, and yeah, I was the person who won the opportunity to challenge Executioner at that date.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I was picked by him, come to think of it,
Yes.
because you had the 3-month thing going on, and
3-month.
you beat me.
Oh yeah, that was.
And then after that, we had some Knights of Pontiac Hardcore Championship title defenses. What were those?
First one would have been Lord Anubis defeats Hollywood Big Boss,
To win the vacant title, yes.
and then you would come back to defeat him.
Yep.
Next one. Then he would come back again and defeat you, and then you would come back to defeat him again.
Yep. The hardcore title 24/7. It's like you gotta be on your game, and
Yeah,
Yep.
we really pushed each other.
fair enough.
It was fun.
What were your thoughts on Lord Anubis and KeiyarlaDraga ending your 536-day reign as PDL Tag Team Champion?
What the fuck happened? Because it's like he's in there with a substitute player. They've never teamed before, and it's like, how is this working? Because it's like one of us should have been able to take her out. Nope, that didn't happen. Executioner, what were your thoughts on losing the title that day?
It was rough,
Yeah.
but again, I bricked. If I remember right.
No, we actually did pretty decent in that duel until...
No.
Yeah, it was a
wasn't-
long
It wasn't
duel.
early on. It was later when I was top decking.
Gotcha.
That was the problem. I couldn't get any cards.
You didn't have any support to what you had on the field. KeiyarlaDraga, anything you want to comment on being part of the team to beat the team? Ending our 536-day reign as tag team champions with Lord Anubis? Nope. You didn't feel happy. You didn't feel glad. You didn't
Don't
feel...
really remember.
But it was a shock to a lot of people's systems, that's for sure.
Yeah. Alrighty.
Hold on a second. Delilah, chill out. Sorry, folks. The cat's getting frisky.
Very frisky.
And they happen to be targeting the man holding the board.
Yeah, really. You chose the wrong person. Alright. Why did you choose the Tag Team Unification event to sign a new Pontiac Duelist League charter?
Everyone was there. Everyone that needed to be there was there. We had signed a charter, I'm trying to think, June or July of 2009. And it was when we terminated all active PDL contracts. This was the follow-up to it, a new charter. Me and Anubis as co-owners. Executioner was brought on as the executive officer, and KeiyarlaDraga, since Mantis wasn't there, was the signee as the Knights of Pontiac representative. So the Knights of Pontiac had representation in the Pontiac Duelist League.
Yeah.
But it was just a very good timed event. Originally, it would have been Mantis signing the charter, but he wasn't there, so it became KeiyarlaDraga, and that was kind of a sign of things to come with her, rising up the ranks in Pontiac Duelist League.
That's true.
What were your thoughts on Lord Anubis vacating his half of the PDL World Tag Team Championship on June 26th of 2010 and facing off against Mantis and KeiyarlaDraga instead?
I think it was July 26th, not June 26th.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I misread that one.
Yeah, it was July 26th.
Yeah.
And she's horny again.
No, she's just bitching.
But it's like, what the fuck, Anubis? It's like, you finally got the tag title, and you just gave it up?
Yeah.
I said he was an idiot, if I remember correctly.
So Mantis and KeiyarlaDraga face myself and Executioner, and we get the tag team titles back.
We all know where that was going.
Yeah.
Yeah. What were your thoughts on Executioner winning the Extreme Elimination 9 on August 5th of 2010.
Holy shit. This was one title defense Executioner did not have control over.
Yeah.
We planned this out at the end of the tag team unification duel to do an Extreme Elimination. This was where Corvus's downward spiral started going really down the skids.
Yeah.
We had lost the World Tag Team Championship to him and KeiyarlaDraga the previous day. Corvus shows up to the duel late, acting really freaking weird, really erratic. Like, what the heck is wrong with you, dude?
Yeah.
He puts his career on the line against Executioner and then gets knocked out turn 9. And then, as a result, the World Tag title is lost to Executioner, and Executioner picks me as his partner again. Go figure.
Yep.
It ain't
Then
right to turn down a good thing.
Hollywood Big Boss defeats Mantis on the 11th.
Turn via Exodia.
Yep.
Yep. That's true. And then I defeated several on the 16th turn via Exodia.
Yep.
Good with the next one.
And then Executioner defeated KeiyarlaDraga on the 21st turn.
KeiyarlaDraga was the longest surviving person in that duel, aside from myself and Executioner, with a whopping 3 turns. KeiyarlaDraga, how's that make you feel that you lasted 3 turns against us back then? And everyone else was getting turn 1. Oh, you're dead. Oh, you're dead. Oh, you're
Yep.
dead.
That was a great place.
Anything you want to comment on that one? Nope.
No.
Not even a hi.
Hi.
There you go.
Okay. Good with the next one.
Lord Anubis was defeated on the 25th turn via deck out.
I Exchange of the Spirit
Yeah.
him on his draw. And as a result of that, Harakathy went from his deck to his graveyard. He has to draw a card,
Yeah.
and then
Goodbye.
it did not end up working
Yeah.
because he's got no deck. And then I made him draw another card too. So it's like, too bad, so sad.
Executioner defeated Hollywood Big Boss on the 34th turn via barrel behind the door.
I tried to either use Obelisk or the Winged Dragon of Ra's effect to finish him off with the Vac damage, because it's like,
I believe it was Raw.
I know he's got Magic Cylinder down. Of
Of
down.
course I made something.
Everyone has magic
Well,
cylinder.
he had Mask of Darkness too to get it back, so it's like,
So you really know.
I really know he
Can't
has
just
it
drop
down.
it. It's too damn good to give up, folks.
It really is.
So it's like, I really know what that is. I don't have a choice. Ra's effect, he barrel behind the doors me, I'm dead.
Yeah.
Bye.
that's
Executioner
fine.
overall on that duel, and everything he played perfectly. I mean, 34 turns is how long that thing lasted between, well, not turns, but rounds around the table.
Yeah.
In total, it'd be 68 turns, but holy shit, that was wow.
What were your thoughts on Burial 117, Magnum TW, and Jedi Ninja attempting this event with Executioner?
The first event attending of Burial 117 Magnum TW, aka Tallywhacker 1337, and Jedi Ninja. Holy shit, it was a very interesting collection of friends. My first time ever meeting them, and I
Told
liked
you they're
them.
one of a kind. That's not true. You had met one previously.
No.
He was at the library.
Oh yeah, Jedi Ninja I had met, but not the other two.
Yep.
Yeah, Jedi Ninja I knew, but not those two.
the
But
other two.
Yeah, no.
it was
no.
very interesting that they stayed and cheered on their friend and everything. And hey, he won.
Yeah. What were your thoughts on Corvus' erratic behavior before and at the event?
Late arrival, as I said, almost disqualified because of that. Wagering his career and his World Tag Team title.
Yep.
Attacking Executioner with full back row. And then it's like, I go outside right after that happened because I want to talk to him. It's like, what the hell's going on? And it's more of talking in circles from him, unfortunately. He told me that I could hang on to his deck. I eventually gave it back to him when he returned, but I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah.
And then August 23rd, he would be committed to a psych ward in Champaign, Illinois for the first time. This is when he was self-harming with cutting and burning himself on his legs, his arms, all that stuff. And the day before that, KeiyarlaDraga, you're the one who told me this, that he had slashed your mom's tires, or you had thought he had slashed your mom's tires the day before.
We never really quite figured out who might have done it.
But you suspected that he could have had something to do with it. But yeah, it was just like, what the fuck, dude? And then you find out he's bipolar, he's schizophrenic, but the people who are in charge of, mental health in Illinois, not willing to give him the help that he fucking needs.
Yep.
Yes, suck at their job. Yes.
That's
They were
very
giving
true.
him pills that made it look like he had Parkinson's.
Yeah, he was shaking like a person who had Parkinson's.
Yeah.
Not good.
Why did you and Executioner decide to defend the PDL World Tag Team Championship against Lord Anubis and Savril, as well as Mantis and KeiyarlaDraga in a triple threat tag duel?
Hey, Executioner, we got this, right?
Yeah.
Big Dick in the locker room, it's like, okay, who wants a shot at us? It's kind of like Boss Rutan on that TV show, The Men's Room, when he gets up on stage and it's like, who wants to knife fight with me in the audience? It's like, okay, people, bring it on.
Bring it on.
I don't care how many. Bring it on. I want to see you duel. And, let's see, what happened on that, instance.
You know what happened on that day.
Yeah, I have a feeling. I think that's where we actually lost one. World Tag Team title. Yes, we did. Right after getting it 45 minutes after defeating Corvus, Anubis and Savril take the tag titles, and they have it for 198 days. But it's like, at the same time, it's like, we didn't win the titles in a tag duel, so it's like, let's do something with them, Let's not be, oh, we just won it. Oh, well, we'll do it. No, we're fighting champions. We're going to defend these championships and make them freaking mean something. But that's pretty much my thoughts on it. It's like, why not? Can go ahead and go to the next question.
Sorry.
Unless there was something else you wanted to add or whatever.
No, that wasn't really part of this, so. What were your thoughts on Lord Anubis and Savril's 198-day reign as the PBL World Champion, or World Tag Team Champion?
This was the start of something great for Savril and Anubis. They would go undefeated for 198 days.
Yep.
That's not just in title matches. That's in every tag duel that they had.
Yeah.
They did not lose a tag team duel for 198 days. Wow.
Yeah.
It was something to see. I mean, Anubis with Mantis was alright. Anubis with KeiyarlaDraga was pretty decent. But Anubis and Savril is where he really gelled. He got a partner that could play off him, and that he could play off of deck-wise and everything. Where Savril's running a Synchro deck, Anubis is running a Brute Force Blue Eyes deck. And they just gelled so well, that contrast of styles. It was perfect. I mean, really good tag team.
Fair enough. What were your thoughts on the Best of 7 series for the PDL/NWO World Championship between Executioner and KeiyarlaDraga?
Alright, let's go through the dates, shall we?
Yeah.
Duel 1, Executioner defeated KeiyarlaDraga August 11th, 2010. Duel 2, KeiyarlaDraga defeated Executioner August 17th in an endurance duel. Duel 3, Executioner defeated KeiyarlaDraga August 23rd, 2010, one-card disqualification via disqualification. Duel 4, KeiyarlaDraga defeated Executioner August 30th, 3-card disqualification via life points. Next duel was a poison duel. Executioner, who would be taking 1,400 damage every turn, defeated KeiyarlaDraga, who was only taking 100 damage each turn. She had gotten Karibo, he had gotten his Harakathy, and he still managed to pull out the victory via life points. And then the final duel was an Iron Man duel. Executioner defeating KeiyarlaDraga. Score was 5-3. Executioner, I think, made a comeback in that one. Because I think KeiyarlaDraga got her 3 wins early, and then it was just him all the way through the rest of the duel. He made the comeback. But it's just one of those things. Like, Draga, anything you want to say about that best of 7 series you had with Executioner?
Nope.
Any thoughts about having 7 duels with Executioner in a row like that? Was it a learning experience for you in any way?
Yep.
These short one-word answers, but at the same time, the way I look at it is this. Executioner made KeiyarlaDraga in that best of 7 series. He showed that she was a top-tier player in the Pontiac Duelist League, that she could hang with anyone, and she's no pushover. She knows what she's doing. At the time, she was using her Elemental Hero deck to devastating effect when it would go off. It's just her opponent had a little bit more powerful cards, and he could push a little bit harder.
Yeah.
That being said, though, she had equipped cards which could, close the gap. It wasn't that bad for her. And I think this was before her old Rainbow Neo strategy, so she was using a bit more brute force.
Elemental Hero Neos.
And she was also using Slifer the Sky Dragon a lot, too.
Yeah.
Like, if she got out Slifer early, you would be in trouble.
Everyone was running a god, considering it could reverse the results of Exodia.
I'm running all 4 and Exodia. You're running
All 4.
all 4. Anubis is running all 4 and Exodia in his Blue Eyes deck. KeiyarlaDraga is running Slifer. Mantis is running the Pinball of Doom, a.k.a. the Wicked Avatar. Corvus is running Obelisk. And Savril got the Wicked Dreadroot from Anubis, of all people. Which, Dreadroot's a really weird card, but when you're playing a Synchro deck, well...
It fits.
It does, because it halves all other monsters, but you still have Dreadroot at 4K. But go ahead and go on to the next one.
Next question would be, what were your thoughts on Savril defeating you for the Knights of Pontiac Hardcore Championship and holding it for 65 days on August 11th of 2010?
So, Savril had no real major life point shenanigans except emergency provisions, which gain 1,000 life points for each magic or trap card you destroy on your own field. But the fact that he held the hardcore title for 65 days, and he didn't lose it either. And I'll get more into detail on that one later. But every duel that he had during this time, he was just winning, and winning consistently, and winning decisively. So, Savril was on the rise here. This was the start of his uptake in Pontiac Duelist League.
Why did you and Executioner reactivate the KDL Tag Team Championship on August 21st of 2010?
This was in Indianapolis, Indiana, of all places. But the main point was the KDL tag titles were unified into the Pontiac Duelist League and NWO Championship at the time. And it's like, why unify a tag title into 2 singles titles? So we pulled them out, and we're like, we'll have another unification duel, and that way all the subsidiary groups will have their championships unified into ours. That was the main point of it.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts on the series of duels between Lord Anubis and Savril against Mantis and KeiyarlaDraga for the PDL World Tag Team Championship?
Brutal. And it wasn't because it was one-sided, it's just that Anubis and Savril worked so well together. It's not that KeiyarlaDraga and Mantis didn't have offense, it's just when your opponent's working that well, it's
hard.
Executioner, anything you want to comment on those duels because it was like oofa.
Again, they were working so well, it became hard for many people.
Very hard.
Because,
Yeah.
pardon me, most matches at the time weren't pushing everyone to the edge.
Mm-hmm.
These were.
Yeah. These were opening up a whole new can of pain.
Yeah.
It was essentially like when Alchemist came in and started pushing people with that Element Saber Invoke deck. It was that kind of level of pushing, but from a tag team.
Oh, okay.
It was devastating.
I
think it's 45
yeah.
there.
Why did you decide to start dating KeiyarlaDraga early September 2010?
Well, the reason why I started to have interest in her is that we had been, in Pontiac Duelist League, found out that we had similar interests just from talking while dueling everything at the events, and I decided, why the hell not? So, what had happened is that KeiyarlaDraga had at one point dated Mantis.
Yeah.
And I actually asked him permission if it was okay for me to date KeiyarlaDraga.
Mm-hmm.
I asked him because she was his ex. I didn't want to cause bad blood between the two of us. It's like, hey, is it okay if I date her? And he's like, yeah, man, go for it. And he was like, we've been broke up for almost 6 or 9 months or whatever. And I'm like,
we kind of both agreed that, hey, we are meant to be more like friends than anything else.
Yeah, fair enough.
more like friends are a brother and sister that antagonize the shit out of each other.
Yeah.
But, that being said, it's just, I was shocked that they were broke up that long and everything. But at the same time, it's like, you know what, let's give this a try and see where this goes. And we were the perfect fit for each other. I mean, I don't know what else to say.
Yeah,
I mean,
fair enough.
she was the one for me.
Yeah, sometimes it just clicks.
And the fact that she was also an opponent in dueling that could push me and mentally challenge me, make me think about things. I want someone who's going to, be able to, push me, not
on a daily basis,
not fall over, be like one of those girls who is a total airhead or something like that. I want someone who can make me think.
Yeah.
And she's capable of doing that.
Why did you decide to unveil a new Pontiac Duelist League logo on September 1st of 2010?
Okay, so the logo that I used was the full card artwork for Magician's God of Ra, and I also incorporated the Japanese kanji for power, because Kiss had used that during their Crazy Nights tour and everything, and I loved the look of it, so I found a silver Chikara symbol and then put that on the Pontiac Duelist League banner with Magician's God of Ra on each side, inverted the one picture so that way it's on both sides, all the text in the middle, all the subsidiaries and everything. But yeah, it was a way to show, hey, we're more than this now. We have a connection to like anime things and stuff like that, and it was a way to, change things up a bit, other than just having a logo with just lettering on it and just plain lettering.
Why did you have Executioner defend the PDL/NWO World Championship against Mantis, even though the Best of 7 series hadn't concluded yet on September 9th of 2010, and yourself on September 23rd of 2010?
Well, it's mainly because that I don't know if KeiyarlaDraga was unavailable at the time or whatever. Yeah, it might have been that she was unavailable at the time, because there was a gap between August 30th and September 23rd, so it's just like keep the ball rolling even though she's not there, and it's just like hope that nothing happens and that he's able to, carry the ball the right way. But that's mainly what it was. It's like, we have a world champion, we need challengers. KeiyarlaDraga's unavailable for a bit. Okay, we'll slide Mantis in, we'll slide me into the slot for a bit, and then once KeiyarlaDraga becomes available, then she'll take over. So Executioner actually pulled double duty on the 23rd. He beat me and then beat
Why did you allow KeiyarlaDraga another duel for the PDL/NWO World Championship on October 9th of 2010 when there was supposed to be no rematch between the two duelists?
Mantis no-showed, and KeiyarlaDraga had done so well in that best-of-7 series that none of us were like, we should just throw that no rematch stipulation out, because it's like, she's the one who deserves it the most at the moment. She's done so well. Let's let her have another opportunity. And even though she didn't win, well, it's like, well, you got a shot, and she did pretty good.
Yeah.
Even though she lost, it's like,
She's
her
still-
duels aren't bad. They're competitive matches that they're having.
Then once we upgraded the deck, things started to change.
We upgraded both your decks at the same time, and it made it even more competitive.
What were your thoughts on Lord Anubis defeating KeiyarlaDraga for the Knights of Pontiac FTW Championship, holding it for the next 127 days, as well as remaining undefeated in the duels for the duration of the title's reign?
Undefeated in one-on-one duels for 127 days. What the fuck? It's like, who turned on the cheat codes for him? I mean, the fact that he never lost a duel from when he won that title, defeating KeiyarlaDraga, until I think it would have been sometime February. It's like, what the hell is going on here? Because at this point in time, too, Anubis has not lost any tag duels. And now he's going on a undefeated run in one-on-one duels.
Yeah.
For the FTW title. I mean, holy shit.
Yeah. What were your thoughts on Savile defeating Executioner and HollywoodBigBoss to win the PDL/NWO World Championship on October 15th of 2010?
I failed on Money in the Bank cash-in, and Savile managed to take advantage of the duel being a triple threat. If it was one-on-one, I can't say that Savile wouldn't have been able to build up the resources that he did. I wanted another shot at Executioner. I picked my spot. I thought he would be in a very bad predicament against Savile, but it turned out to be, both of our downfalls. Executioner, anything you want to add to that? I can see you smirking.
No, that's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
I can tell you're not happy that I did that.
I hold no grudges.
That look on his face does not say that.
No, it's true, people. I'm a very kind and forgiving person.
I'm calling BS on that one.
We're calling bollocks on that.
Be my guest.
KeiyarlaDraga, does Executioner hold grudges? You be the judge of that.
Depends on the person.
Yeah, that does.
Okay.
How did Savile's PDL/NWO World Championship win affect his career going forward?
Oh boy. It made him.
Yeah.
Like, that duel, defeating Executioner, who had held the World Championship, ending his reign at 198 days, and then ending, yeah, it's just like, holy shit. The fact that he was able to just beat him like that, it's like, it made him. Like, I knew that anyone who had that length of time on a title reign, if it's a new person who's able to defeat them, their career is pretty much instantly made. Because you proved that you were able to take on one of the best duelists in the world and climb to the top off of them. You're able to knock them off the mountain and take it from them. I mean, Savile earned every bit of that win. He really did earn that win.
Cat, can you please be a little bit quieter while you were annoying everybody?
No. What was the reaction of the remaining Pontiac Duelist League members of the Executioner's World Championship loss?
Shock.
Huh?
Anubis was happy.
Yeah.
Anubis was really happy. He's like, yay, my tag team partner won.
Yeah.
Who was also holding the hardcore title at the time. So that's why his hardcore title reign ended, is because, hey, you're world champion. You can't have both belts.
Yeah.
It's like, sorry, bud, but you got to give one up.
I asked Pretty Please, but he wouldn't let me keep both
Yeah.
this time.
But for Savril, it's just like, whoa.
Yeah.
It's like, a lot of people were shocked. Mantis was like, holy crap, he beat him.
Mm-hmm.
KeiyarlaDraga, what was your reaction to finding out that Executioner's reign had ended by Savril? 198 days. Very good information,
Yep.
KeiyarlaDraga.
Yep.
How did the best of 7 series between Executioner and KeiyarlaDraga impact their careers?
That best of 7 series made both duelists better.
Mm-hmm.
It showed that they could go at that high level of competition and really not only push themselves, but bring each other up.
Yeah.
I mean, it made both them. It was just so good that we got that competitive of a series of duels between the two duelists. I was so happy with KeiyarlaDraga and Executioner. Executioner, anything you want to add to that, or
no, that seems about right.
Draga, anything you want to add? Nope.
Alright. I accidentally skipped a question. How did holding the PDL/NWO World Championship for 198 days and PDL Tag Team Championship with HollywoodBigBoss for 536 days impact the career of Executioner?
Legend. That's the only word. Legend. It made him a legend. I mean, how many people can say that they've had a tag team title run and a world title run that successful, and both of them kind of overlapping at part of their career? Not very many people. I was so happy that he was able to have this run with the World Championship to not only bring himself up, but to help establish KeiyarlaDraga, establish Savril as, top tier competitors. And Executioner's trying to cuddle with his cat right
Trying
now.
to calm her down by holding her and petting her.
You're all right.
Yeah.
But what were your thoughts on having 2 lengthy title reigns and everything? And
Oh, it was fun. Very fun. Also, at that point, I wanted a vacation afterwards. Never got that either.
Nope.
Yeah, it always seems like that.
Yep.
Next.
Never breaks, always work.
Yeah. Who was the best Pontiac Duelist League /NW New World Organization World Champion?
During this time, only one person, well, 2 people held it. Executioner Dairoku Tenmao for 198 days, and it was the start of Savril's run. So I gotta give it to Executioner, the, proven workhorse in this time period.
Yeah. Who was the best Pontiac Duelist League tag team champion?
Me and Executioner having it for 536 days.
That makes sense.
Let me go through who the other champions were as of this point in time and everything. Had a TV turn on, but that's all right.
Sorry, I'm just needing to
No,
say
you're
this.
fine. You're fine. Let's see. Me and Executioner, January 25th, 09, 536 days. Anubis and KeiyarlaDraga, July 14th, 2010, for 1 second, but then we get past the unification, having it for 12 days. July 26th, Mantis and KeiyarlaDraga have it for 1 hour, 46 minutes. Myself and Executioner, same day, 9 days. KeiyarlaDraga and Corvus, 1 day, August 4th. Myself and Executioner, again, August 5th, 45 minutes. Lord Anubis and Savril, 198 days. arguments can be made either way for myself and Executioner or Lord Anubis and Savril. Given that it's just the start of Anubis and Savril's reign, I have to give it to me and Executioner. But if we were further into Anubis and Savril's run, I would probably have to give it to them.
Yeah.
But I can't because of, time and everything.
Yeah. Who was the best Pontiac Duelist League hardcore champion?
Oh, that's the wrong one. We don't even have that title. It'd be the Knights of Pontiac Hardcore Championship. Oh, well, shit happens. So we had Anubis having it 175 days, never really lost it. Savril has it 7 days, Mantis has it 30 minutes, I have it 12 minutes, Mantis has it 34 minutes, I have it for 5 days, Executioner has it 3 minutes, vacated it, I have it again for 2 days, Executioner's got 5 minutes, vacant again, I have it 12 minutes, Anubis has it 15 minutes, I have it 2 hours, Anubis has it 3 minutes, I have it 8 days, Savril has it 49 minutes, Corvus has it for 7 minutes, vacant, Mantis has it 30 minutes, Savril has it 14 days, I have it 25 minutes, Anubis has it 5 minutes, vacant again, Mantis again for 15 minutes, Savril 30 minutes, KeiyarlaDraga 6 days, me 16 minutes, and then Savril 65 days. Anubis was never technically beat, 175 days, but neither was Savril. But I gotta give the edge to Anubis because he had it 127 days, Savril only had it 65. If he would have gone longer with his run, then he very well may have gotten, the edge on that one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's a box in the way.
Yeah, it's there to help keep the dog out. There you go. She might have been bitching about that. I did not know. No, that's fine. That's enough.
Yeah, exactly.
So that was the Knights of Pontiac Hardcore Championship.
Yeah. Who was the best Knights of Pontiac Fuck the World champion?
That would have been Lord Anubis 127 days. That title, once again, it's the reactivated Sigma V joke title, but Anubis was trying to make something of it. So, I gotta give it to Anubis because he just absolutely annihilated every fucking one.
Yeah.
And he wasn't going easy on people either. He was just brutally destroying people. Like, you would never get a back-and-forth competitive match against Anubis during this time frame. It was all... He wanted to absolutely dominate people, and even worse so than Savril in his end run. It was even worse than the Stardust Synchro deck that saw play by you and everything, so it's like, holy crap. It's one of those decks where it's like he is giving you no room to breathe, no chance to win.
Alrighty, well, we've made it to the Duelist report cards. Starting off with you, Hollywood Big Boss.
Well, mentally, partially, I was screwed up because of my grandfather dying and everything.
Yeah.
We're in a positive area in the Pontiac Duelist League. So I don't have a lot of stress, minus, Corvus caused stress.
Yeah.
And my dueling is the best it's ever been, honestly, in my opinion. So my dueling, I'd have to say an A, and my personality, probably a B. Executioner, any thoughts on that one?
No. I said that's about right from what I can remember.
KeiyarlaDraga, you want to get involved in the report card part? Yay or nay? Give a grade to anyone? Nope. Minimal input from KeiyarlaDraga today.
Sorry, folks. She's very shy when it comes to this.
Yep.
Alrighty. Next one would be Lord Anubis.
Well, his personality definitely had its clashes with people. His dueling at this point in time was the best it ever was.
Also questionable in some.
Not quite yet. It wasn't until
it? Okay.
no. It wasn't until next year when we had problems with that.
That's right.
Yeah, no. We weren't having problems with him during this point in time. Personality, I'd say probably a B, but his dueling was an A. Executioner, care to give a different grade?
His dueling was definitely an A. His personality was a C to a B, depending on what day it was.
And depending on which name you had and everything, because some people he held grudges almost as bad as you do. Maybe even worse than you do. But
There you go.
Yeah. Alrighty, next one would be Executioner.
personality A, dueling A, reign of fucking terror. What more do I have to say? I mean...
No, that's about right. That was that year.
I mean...
I took off and just didn't quit.
It was just fun. It was fun playing against him during this time. I mean,
I
fun to
can-
compete against, no problems whatsoever.
Pretty sure everyone was laughing by the end of the duel, win or loss.
Yep.
Alrighty, Several.
I have nothing bad to say about him personality-wise or dueling-wise during this time.
He was
Dueling,
great.
he went from being a C to a B to an A very, very rapidly.
Yeah.
So, personality A, dueling A, executioner cared
It was great. His personality was an S in my opinion. And his dueling went from an A to an S quickly.
hey, giving out the super grade. Okay.
I can't say no. He went from a C and he just took off.
Yeah.
And he kept going and giving it his all. I have to give him the S.
And then you also have to look at that Anubis also gave him Baranic Dragon of the Ice Barrier, and he also gave him Wicked Dreadroot, which helped his deck in the power department and bouncing shit.
And that just... that pumped him up.
Mantis.
Mantis. Dueling, I'd say probably a solid B. Very good dueling personality during this time, A.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
His personality was always A when he showed up, and his dueling was a B plus at tops. That was on a good day. Most of the time, you're just looking at a B.
Fair. KeiyarlaDraga.
Oh, I'm gonna be biased.
Yeah, of course.
Of course you are.
Her dueling,
Lover boy.
her dueling was really, really good. It went from being a B to an A, in my opinion. And I don't give out A's lightly, especially in dueling. I cannot say that she was not an A, especially with the duels that she had against you, Executioner.
No,
Personality A, like,
Yeah.
nicest girl to ever be around. Not a mean bone in her body until, someone really provokes her, which...
Takes a lot.
It does, but once she's provoked, oh God help you.
Yeah. But yeah, you're right. She was personality A. Dueling, definitely an A. She fought me well and hard. And those matches were some of the funnest, from the memories I have, which are glimpses and pictures, are some of the funnest ones I can remember.
Yeah, fair enough. Corvus.
Raped a 13-year-old girl, I don't need to say anything. Personality and dueling don't matter. And this is during his start of his schizophrenia and hearing voices in his head and people not doing anything to correct the problem.
And
Not so much his family, but the, health care experts. So,
failures.
yeah. And look at what happened as a result. So,
I say nothing.
T-Rex.
personality A, never had a problem with him personality-wise, but his dueling was just C. I mean,
Nah, fella, you're a little off on the C there. Try C minus.
C minus.
Yeah, I mean he could do stuff.
Maybe I'm being generous, but it's like I didn't have a bad duel against him. It's just
I didn't have a bad
great
duel, but it
duels.
was just everyone could tear through him,
I get you.
and that's why I gave him a C because he could fight, but
But personality-wise, we couldn't say anything bad about the kid.
no. When he got everyone, he was positive when he came, so it
Yeah.
was cool.
Yeah. Goomba.
Oh God. Dueling, not even worth grading because he didn't know how to duel, didn't know how to play, and when we tried to teach him what we could, he didn't want to listen.
It was
As
his
far-
way or the highway, really.
And nothing has changed since then. Personality, when you try and whine about something when someone gives a honest critique about something that you're doing and saying, hey, you need to learn, take it to heart, learn the right way to do it. Learn from those who have experience. Don't try and run away and be like, oh, they're being mean to me. And it's like, no, we're trying to get you to pay attention and you gotta learn. And if you're not willing to learn, then there's no fixing the problem.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to say anything else because he couldn't really duel and his personality was immature and childish at the time.
All I'm going to say is, he got the boot the same way the Goomba does.
Yep, just like in Mario. Boom!
Alrighty, moving on to now the tag team report cards.
Oh shit, I forgot that I had even done that.
Yeah,
Wow.
It's not on this one.
Yeah.
So that's why my notes and stuff are off.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
This one starting with HollywoodBigBoss and Executioner.
Ooh boy, tag team wise. Would you want to say A, Executioner?
I'd like just to say evil. For a long time there.
And the fact that they gave us the opportunity to continue our reign because we gave them the option, crown new champions or let us keep running with the ball. They're like, no, you keep running with the ball.
Everybody wanted a piece.
Yeah.
Everyone wanted a piece, but it took Anubis and KeiyarlaDraga to get the fucking job done. But yeah, tag team work, our dueling was an A. Like, there was no better team than us at this point in time. Until, someone else came along.
Took him a while, but yeah.
Yeah.
And our attitudes are always A's. I just said that because we have fun and we just keep it all mellow.
Yeah. Lord Anubis and Mantis.
That was the ultimate odd couple team if there ever was an odd couple team.
That was.
Oh man, if you want to talk about polar opposites working together.
Yeah.
It was a nightmare.
It was a nightmare, but somehow they pulled it off a lot. They came close a lot of times, but unfortunately they never won the big one really together. I gotta give their dueling a B just because they never really, they didn't grab that top tier of the ladder, but their personality was an A most of the time. Like, we didn't have problems with them collectively.
I'll give the dueling a B plus because they pushed us
They did push
for the
us.
longest time to the edge of losing.
Yep.
So I just think they deserve
They
that.
were
And
the
their-
only team that could push us.
And their personalities were pretty great
Yeah.
from when we were time together. I don't know about outside, but that's different.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alrighty. KeiyarlaDraga and Corvus.
KeiyarlaDraga, care to comment on your teaming with Corvus at all?
There were times that I wanted to strangle him.
Sounds about right, actually.
Totally dysfunctional.
Completely a nightmare idea.
KeiyarlaDraga, I pity having to put her in that tag team. I regret having to put her in that tag team, but he was the only person available at the time.
Yeah.
It sucks.
That was our mistake.
Yeah, and there wasn't anything we could do. Mantis
Yeah.
and Anubis were so together that it's like
You can't split them.
we can't
Yeah, we
split
should have
them.
come up with something better. Or at least given her the power to duel by herself.
So I'm not going to grade them just because KeiyarlaDraga deserved better. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
This one would be Lord Anubis and Savril.
The team that won tag titles from us had them 198 days. In a lot of ways, they were our successors to being the most dominant tag team. Didn't have it as long, but their reigns were brutal. Their duels were brutal. I mean, ugh. Like, you thought Mantis and Anubis could push us? They
Yeah.
They didn't give you any room to breathe, especially with Savril being there. It just...
Yep.
as far as their dueling, I'd say A, and personality, A for Savril.
Yeah.
Anubis, I didn't really notice when he was teaming with Savril much hiccups with him acting out or anything, but...
No.
Next one.
I say they owned a cookie.
Next one would be KeiyarlaDraga and Mantis.
KeiyarlaDraga and Mantis as a team. Now, that's another odd couple one, but it should have worked. Honestly, that tag team really should have worked.
Yeah.
But it didn't. It's just like, it's not the fact that they're not consulting before they play cards like they should. It's just that Mantis's chaotic kind of deck build does not function well with KeiyarlaDraga's elemental hero deck build.
Yeah.
Dueling, I'd say, is at least a B- just because of dysfunctionality together.
I'll say yeah.
And it's like, why are they dysfunctional? Personality, so hey, fun to duel.
Yep.
And I think there's one tag team that we forgot on this whole thing, the one that took the tag titles off of us initially, Lord Anubis and KeiyarlaDraga.
Yeah.
Which was a throw together last minute team. Draga, any thoughts on teaming with Lord Anubis for the 2 weeks that you did? Won the tag team title?
Nothing to speak up.
We don't have video here, so they can't hear you shaking your head. Any thoughts you want to say about knocking off me and Executioner in our longest reign as of this time?
No.
No?
No.
Just it made you happy? Brought a smile to your face?
I'll say yeah.
But yeah, as far as that team, they could have been a really good tag team. It's just Anubis had his eyes on Savril. I think that's probably why he gave up the tag title half as easily as he did and gave it to KeiyarlaDraga and Mantis. He wanted Savril as his partner.
Yep.
Hindsight, and that's probably something that I forgot about, is that's probably why, looking back on this, is why he did it. But I wasn't thinking about that at the time, but it just clicked in my head. Oh, that's probably why he did it, because he saw that Mantis wasn't feasible, but Savril was more,
up his alley.
yeah, as far as playstyle and everything.
Yep.
So, that pretty much concludes this portion of the interview, I think.
Yep.
Indeed.
I guess the next interview that I'll be doing will just be me again. And it's going to pretty much cover Savril's world title run as well as Lord Anubis's title run. Because we have Savril's world championship run in here, which I'll pull up real quick just to give people a small preview. He had a 74-day run with the championship. Mantis, KeiyarlaDraga has it 35 days. I have it 12 days. And then Anubis went on to have the World Championship for 175 days. So we're going to cover Savril and Anubis's runs as far as the Pontiac Duelist League. And then hopefully in the near future we'll cover an entire breakdown or deep dive into the NW 2.0 versus Knights of Pontiac storyline.
Okay.
Which that one's going to be pretty much video by video talking about what we did back in the day.
With what we had.
And we'll go through the entire storyline from the start with me and Mantis to bringing everyone in to when it ended, when real life kind of kicked us in the nuts with Mantis and Corvus getting arrested. Which that's a story for another day, which we'll cover then. But if there was ever a thing of bullshit that ever happened that hurt the group, which should never have fucking happened, was that one. But that's a story for another day. We'll leave some of the mystery there. But we're going to get into Lord Anubis and Savril. Both of their runs as tag team champion and both their runs as world champion during this time period.
Yep.
So, I can't think of anything else to add. Executioner, you want to talk about anything?
No.
A final note?
I got nothing, I'm afraid.
Anything to say about your reign of terror that you had?
No, you pretty well much explained it exactly as it was.
Alistar, anything you want to remark about this?
Not all good here.
Hope it was informative for you all, but this is HollywoodBigBoss, Alistar, Executioner Dairoku Tenmao, and KeiyarlaDraga, Mrs. Quiet over there.
Signing out.
Peace, people. God bless.
Ugh.